that are taking place. Some Palestinians are being charged up to $2,000.
I'm not going to South Africa for the G20 because I think their policies on the extermination of people are unacceptable. So I'm not going. So I won't refer to anything having to do with South Africa. South Africa has behaved extremely badly. But
to pursue the agenda of white supremacy.
You think Trump is pursuing a white supremacist agenda?
Yes, I think so.
Sunrise over DC, coffee in my hand. Saw the headlines from a faraway land. South Africa's politicos
running their mouth again about America and me. Where does it all end? They're about a whole year of the same old tune.
name calling in tall tales beneath the African moon. Oh, it's more trash in the USA. I declare, while their own folks are struggling beyond all compare, pointing fingers outward, ignoring what's inside. For Afrikaners and minorities, nowhere left to hide. Well, this cowboy's had enough,
Patience wearing thin.
gonna tell the world the truth.
Where do I begin? They talk about freedom and justice for all, while their own people are answering a different call.
Farmers on their homesteads,
Living in fear and dread,
minority voices silence words left unsaid.
promises like tumbleweeds blowing in the breeze, while their leaders keep on preaching,
Bringing us to our knees. Oh, it's more trash in the USA. I declare, while their own folks are struggling beyond all compare, pointing fingers outward, ignoring what's inside. For Afrikaners and minorities, nowhere left to hide. Well, this cowboy's had enough,
patience wearing thin.
gonna tell the world the truth.
Where do I begin?
I tried to stay quiet,
Let it roll right on by.
but a man can only take so much beneath God's sky. That's the honest truth.
When you see folks suffering, it just ain't right.
Gonna set the record straight with all of my might. Oh, it's more trash in the USA. I declare, while their own folks are struggling beyond all compare, pointing fingers outward, ignoring what's inside. For Afrikaners and minorities, nowhere left to hide. Well, this cowboy's had enough,
Patience wearing thin.
gonna tell the world the truth.
Where do I begin?
Yeah, more trash in the USA.
But the truth will find its way.
Pretoria, listen up to what I gotta say. God bless America, come what may.
Come what may.
Oh my, did you hear the thunder roll?
They came in the dead of night to take a tyrant's soul.
Oh, Nicolas Maduro, he was leaning on his pride, but there ain't no place in Caracas left for him to hide.
The special forces landed in that rum banana state, where a once great nation crumbled neath the heavy hand of hate. Now he's sitting in a Brooklyn jail, staring at the wall, pondering the arrogance that led to such a fall. The defiance and the missteps, yeah, they failed him in the end. Now the whispers cross the ocean, blowing on a southern wind.
Is Cyril next? Is the hammer gonna fall? Is there a name upon the ledger written on the wall? Over in Pretoria, there's a man who's losing sleep, with a secret in the shadows that he's trying hard to keep.
Cyril Ramaphosa nibbling at his silver nails, watching as the Maduro ship lowers down its sails.
He's pacing around the Union buildings, looking at the gate, wondering if the Waffle Man has met a similar fate.
Now why would Cyril worry about the boys in Desert Camo?
What's he got to hide behind his political enamor?
Well, that MTN problem, it just won't fade away.
Like a ghost from the boardroom, coming back to play.
Did it help the sons of Tehran? Did the money find a way to finance all those rogue actors in the heat of the affray?
The clock is ticking loud.
There's a storm cloud gathered above the Joburg crowd.
Is it justice?
Is it vengeance?
Or a debt that's come due?
When the Secretary of War is the only one who knew.
Is Ramaphosa next?
Well, nobody can say.
But the special forces don't usually wait for the day.
Is he next?
Is he next?
Just a lonesome waffle man,
wondering who's next.
Marvin Devine. I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming, it's cool I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Monday, January 5th, 2025, folks. Welcome back to the program. This is Chris live in Central Pennsylvania. Good to have you back in. Let me do a quick sound check. Live in Central. That sounds good. All right, welcome back. Breaking news, the Ohio home of Vice President J.D. Vance was vandalized and damaged earlier today. And one person is currently in custody after the danger presented to the Vice President of the United States. These wackadoodles are still out to harm President Trump and his team. And do not forget that. They are evil bastards. So here we go. One person in custody after incident at Vance's Ohio residence. You can see the damage done to the window there. One person is in custody and investigation is underway following an incident that caused property damage to the Ohio residence of Vice President J.D. Vance. The Vance family was not in Ohio at the time of the incident, according to U.S. Secret Service. Photos from local news outlets showed damage to the windows of the residence. A Secret Service spokesman said the person, an adult male who has not been identified, was detained for causing property damage, including breaking windows on the exterior of a personal residence associated with Vance. It happened shortly after midnight. Secret Service is coordinating with the Cincinnati Police Department, the U.S. Attorney General's office, as charging decisions are reviewed. Authorities are investigating whether an individual was targeting Vance. His family, a federal law enforcement official, told CNN they do not believe the person entered the vice president's home. A White House official told CNN the Vance family had already left town before the incident had happened. Man taken into custody after breaking into Vice President Vance's home. The residence was unoccupied at the time of the incident. The vice president's family were not in Ohio. Vance's wife, Usha, purchased the home for about $1,400,000 in 2018 in Cincinnati's East Walnut Hills neighborhood, which sits along the Ohio River at east of downtown, according to the Hamilton County Auditor's Office. So once again, we don't know if it's just a crime of opportunity, a thief, or it's an attempted to go after the vice president. Whatever the case is, Secret Service will be taking it seriously. Well, folks, after Venezuela, as inspired by the song you just heard a few moments ago, who's next? President Trump's comments about Greenland, Colombia, and Cuba offered a glimpse of how emboldened he feels after the quick capture of Nicolas Maduro. Barely 48 hours after toppling the leader of Venezuela and asserting U.S. rights to the country's oil, President Trump threatened Colombia with a similar fate, declared that Cuba was not worth invading because it's ready to fall, and once again claimed that Greenland needed to come under American control as an issue of national security. The Trumpster is having a blast. Is this a briefing or filibuster? What are you talking about, Mad Max? 8 firearms discovered in a Ford Raptor during a routine roadblock at a KZN toll plaza. Look at this armaments. That's an arsenal, folks. 8 firearms, including rifles, were discovered in a Ford Raptor transporting a security company owner and police training college officer. Well, okay, if he's a security training officer, maybe it's appropriate. The vehicle was fitted with unauthorized lights, typically used for road bullying tactics, and one rifle had an expired permit, while questions arose around the security owner's firearms dealing credentials and permit orders. Officials stood in shock as 8 firearms, including rifles, were found in a Ford Raptor, which had been stopped during a routine roadblock at the Marion Hill Toll Plaza in Durban. As the weapons in a box which contained 800 rounds of ammunition were laid out next to the vehicle, a search of one of the 2 occupants revealed another gun strapped to his ankle. When questioned by Metro Police and Road Traffic Inspectorate officers, the 2 men stated they were traveling from Mount Edgecombe to Peter Maritzburg to purchase firearms. Didn't they have enough already? One of the 2 men owned a security company in Mount Edgecombe, while the other is a police officer working at the training college in Pretoria. So police officers transporting illicit firearms. Surprise, surprise. Wow. Security owner says he's also the firearms dealer, and to be a dealer, you need to have a permit order. We're currently investigating this matter. If you own a rifle, it must have a specific date of manufacturing. The other rifle was expired, and that too we are investigating. Interesting firearms. Look at that gold-plated pistol. That's crazy. The car has lights it's not meant to have, and normally cars with lights like these carry out bullying tactics on the roads. Of course, it could be related to security. Who knows? But there you go. An arsenal. Law enforcement officers intercept an arms dealer with 800 rounds of ammunition at the Marion Hill Toll Plaza. That's a rather portly officer there. There you go. There's the weapons. That's a strange look one there. Two individuals involved, including a policeman, failed to produce valid documents demonstrating compliance with the Firearms Control Act. The proliferation of firearms and ammunition is a major contributor towards violent crimes and robberies. Wow, look at that. South Africa's petrol prices, because of the rising rand, reached their lowest level in 4 years, despite excessive taxes on South Africans. Lowest level in 4 years, combination of falling global crude prices and a stronger rand eases the cost of fuel. Should have gone down a long time ago, but when you control the price, this is what happens. Currency opened 2026 at its strongest level since 2022, supported by positive domestic trends, including ongoing economic reforms and rising metal prices. The true reason for the rand rising is the buying of bonds and the manipulation of the marketplace by banks and by big traders. That's why. Never seen such delays. Passengers are fuming over lengthy queues at OR Tambo. Once again, OR Tambo is broken down and messed up. No fuel, no processing. What a disaster. What a disaster. Passengers face significant delays at OR Tambo during a 90-minute wait on the tarmac before finally departing for their destinations on Sunday. The disruptions, which Air Traffic and Navigation Service attributed temporary human resource constraints, what was somebody drunk, at the air traffic control station, left many travelers frustrated, and some called for better communication support. Richard Holmes, a passenger on a SAF Air flight from Joburg to Cape Town, said it was very busy when he arrived at the airport on Sunday and that there were long security queues. Everything seemed to be running normally until we were on the aircraft and almost ready to depart. Then the captain came on the intercom and announced a delay due to air traffic control. He initially suggested it would be an hour, but we only moved after more than 90 minutes and landed 2 hours late in Cape Town. That sucks. That sucks. This highlights, was it Kirby Gordon? We got Kirby. FlySAF Air spokesperson Kirby Gordon told News 24 the airline issued ongoing and regular communication to affected customers. All notifications were sent via SMS and WhatsApp to the contact details provided at the time of booking, either directly by the customer or via the travel agency. Kirby Gordon said this highlights the importance of ensuring that accurate and up-to-date contact information is always provided to the airline. And I'll tell you this, every time I fly SAF Air, they update me. They do it fantastic. No, I didn't say it was a fuel issue, Alan. I said that first we had fuel issues. We had fuel issues there a few months ago because there was no fuel at the airport. That's what I said. I didn't say what you said. OR Tambo delays due to illness, personnel issues among staff, and bad weather. Now the weather is blamed. So when did the weather become part of it? South Africa's largest airline, FlySAF Air, says 91 of its 199 scheduled flights experienced delays as a consequence of this. This is what happens when you don't hire sufficient qualified people to work air traffic control or security at airports. Wow. FlySAF Air said the airline expressed concern over instrument flight procedures at OR Tambo, saying that some were not renewed and had been suspended at the airport, some withdrawn early December. News 24 Produce reported that 326 flight procedures were suspended at South Africa's major airports in July after it failed to be renewed by ATNS. Along with air traffic controller shortages and suspensions, it caused widespread delays. The airline said that it incurred an additional $9 million in fuel costs as a consequence of this. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This is South Africa. This is South Africa. You can't even maintain your flight operations. And they returned to normal a few hours ago. ATNS confirms that air traffic operations at OR Tambo Airport are normal this morning, with services continuing as planned. However, the nature of aviation is such that operations should remain subject to constant close monitoring and evaluation. Duh. ATNS clarified the flight diversions experienced on Sunday afternoon were not caused by human resource constraints, but were a result of severe weather conditions, including thunderstorms, which temporarily affected safe aircraft operations. So what is it? What's the true story? Can they not even tell us the truth? Was it a personnel shortage or was it severe weather? What was the real reason? Utter nonsense. We can't trust anything coming out of South Africa's parastatals. Mob justice, once again, vigilantes. Justice over a purported house robbery leaves one man dead in Limpopo. A suspected house robbery in Motetema, Limpopo, turned fatal on Sunday when community members allegedly assaulted two suspects, leaving one dead and the other hospitalized. 3 occupants, 2 women and a man, were allegedly confronted by a suspect wearing balaclava and believed to be carrying a firearm. He reportedly demanded money and cell phones. During the confrontation, one victim managed to escape and raised the alarm. Community members responded and apprehended 2 male suspects believed to be linked, and then they beat one to death. That is not acceptable. Is that the news? Did Tim Waltz leave the race? I have that queued up that he was going to make a decision today. So people think that YouTube isn't powerful, that independent broadcasters aren't powerful. Well, Timmy Waltz, little tampon Timmy, stolen valor Timmy, the loser who was the vice presidential pick, has dropped out of the race. There you go. There you go. Thank you for that. The announcement comes amid heightened scrutiny of the state's handling of the alleged child care fraud. What do you alleged, NBC News? It isn't alleged. It's true. Senator Amy Klobuchar is now considering a bid for governor. Good. We'll be glad to see her go from the Senate. She's an idiot. Tim Walz said in a statement Monday that he's ending his re-election bid, will not seek a third term. He shouldn't have been in office at all. He's a stolen valor liar who brings shame upon the military. He disgraced the uniform with his lies, falsely claiming he suffered combat injuries, and that's the reason why he was intoxicated when pulled over by a state trooper. Never prosecuted for his drunk while driving under the influence. This is a man who should never be in charge of a single decision. If he can't handle his alcohol and endanger public safety by driving recklessly while under the influence and then lie about it and steal valor, he deserves nothing but dismissal from public view, and that's what's happening to him now. The 2024 Democratic vice presidential nominee cited heightened attention on fraud allegations, adding that the political gamesmanship we're seeing from the Republicans is only making the fight harder. Went, no, you're a criminal and you're a scumbag. But as I reflect on this moment with my family and my team over the holidays, I came to the conclusion that I can't give a political campaign my all. Every minute I spend defending my own political interests would be a minute I can't spend defending the people of Minnesota against the criminals who prey on our generosity and the cynics who prey on our differences. No, my friend. You're not defending, you're defending your liberty because you're at risk of going back to jail, Timmy Walz. Timmy Walz, this loser of highest proportions, drops his bid for a third term as Minnesota's governor. Look at that. Look at that clueless deer staring into the headlights look. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, Democrats' dumb decision for vice president in 2024, is ending his third term bid for governor amid pervasive fraud allegations. Less than 4 months after announcing his re-election campaign, Walz said in a statement Monday that he can no longer devote energy necessary to win another term as he expressed confidence that he could win. He cited ongoing attention on the fraud cases. Donald Trump and his allies in Washington and St. Paul and online want to make our state a colder, meaner place. No, they want to make it a responsible, respectful, law-abiding state, not the scumbag place you've turned it into. No, I don't think so. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz desperately defends himself for Somali fraud allegations. This one from back in December. Yep. Well, he's desperately defended himself, and it failed. Timmy Walz is history. Good riddance. Now, let's continue to investigate if there's any criminal activity on his part, and if there is, prosecute him for any criminal activity. Simple as that, folks. Keep it up. Keep going for the guy. All right, a Border Management Authority used drones to capture 25 illegal criminal alien invaders. Just as they thought they had entered South Africa, drones operated by Border Management Authority captured live footage of illegal immigrants crossing from Zimbabwe through the Bight Bridge border post, led to 25 arrests. Happened today as thousands of holidaymakers were traveling back to their destinations. So there they go. BMA said 2 men were detained and handed over to the Messina police station for aiding and abetting. The suspects were arrested a day earlier near Bight Bridge Port, and they said authorities were monitoring a group that had crossed the Limpopo from Zimbabwe using a boat. He said BMA response teams were positioned in the bushes and ready to arrest anyone entering South African territory illegally. This is how the drones are assisting us. Brilliant. Well, that's good use of drones. Kubai calls for lifestyle audits and prosecutors over corruption and lavish living conditions. Justice Minister Mamakoloko Kubaya has called for mandatory lifestyle audits for all prosecutors, warning that officials living beyond their declared pay grade pose a threat to the justice system's integrity and will never vouch for them. In an interview on SABC, she stressed that prosecutors unwilling to undergo audits should raise immediate concerns. If a prosecutor does not feel comfortable, if they live beyond their means, it's a problem because they are risking the system. Until all prosecutors undergo lifestyle audits, I cannot publicly vouch for their integrity. All members of parliament, all members of provincial legislatures, all mayors, all deputy mayors, all MECs, all members of the cabinet, and all executive officers in Cyril Ramaphosa's government should all face lifestyle audits, and they should be publicly available. Not their holdings and their values, but the outcome of them. I agree. Long overdue. Turning our attention neighboring Botswana, they are opening an embassy in Moscow. Wow. It's all about diamonds, folks. Botswana plans to open an embassy in Moscow soon and has invited Russian investors to cooperate on rare earths and diamonds. Wow. Now that's not very smart. Why don't you invite Americans or Australians to cooperate on rare earths? We firmly believe Botswana is the best place for investment considering its political and economic stability. Therefore, we strongly encourage Russian investors to come to Botswana, says Pino Butale. Russia's Norilsk Nickel, the world's largest producer of palladium and high-grade nickel, settled its dispute with the government of Botswana and the BCL Group in 2021 with the transaction for the sale of Nor Nickel's assets in Africa. But diamonds contribute a huge portion of the GDP for Botswana, and now they're turning to Russia. Not a good look. At least 25 dead, 14 missing, and another boat tragedy, this time in Nigeria. At least 25 people have died and 14 others remain missing after a boat carrying dozens of passengers capsized in Yobe State, northeastern Nigeria. Happened just before 8 p.m. local time on Saturday when a large canoe which had departed from the village in northwestern Jigawa State overturned en route to Garbi in Yobe State. Had 52 passengers. 13 have been rescued alive and 25 bodies have been recovered. Jeez. Unbelievable. Deadly boat accidents are common in Nigeria where vessels operate without safety measures. In September, 60 people died when overloaded boats sank and it collided with a tree stump in Niger State, central Nigeria. Terrible. Nigerian police have charged Joshua driver with dangerous driving over a fatal collision. Nigerian police said on Friday the driver of the vehicle involved in the crash that injured British former world heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua and killed 2 of his close friends was charged with 4 counts. Adiniyi Amolokai Kayode, 46, appeared before the Sangamu Magistrate Court on Friday in connection with the accident on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. He was charged with 4 counts causing death by dangerous driving. Joshua sustained minor injuries when the Lexus SUV was traveling and collided with another car on Monday. 2 of his friends and team members died in the crash. Preliminary findings suggest the car was speeding and attempted a wrongful overtaking maneuver before hitting a stationary truck. Wow. The crash comes just a week after Joshua knocked out American social media star Jake Paul in the 6th round of a bout in Miami. At least 30 killed in a Nigerian market attack in Niger State. Police spokesman Wasu Abidon said the gunmen, locally called bandits, stormed at Kasuwadaj Market in Dimo Village around 4:30 in the afternoon, burning stalls and looting food items. More than 30 victims lost their lives during the attack, and some people were kidnapped. Efforts are ongoing to rescue the kidnapped victims. Witnesses said the gunmen arrived on motorcycles, as they usually do, and opened fire indiscriminately. Said the violence was part of a series of raids that began on Friday in nearby villages Agwara and Borgu. Women and children were not spared. There's been no presence of security forces since the attacks began. We are recovering corpses. Good Lord. What is happening there is just horrific. United States capture of Nicolas Maduro tests the limits of Chinese diplomatic heft. China's top diplomat accused the U.S. of acting like a world judge by seizing Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro and put him on trial. Well, you can say all you want. It doesn't change anything. We have never believed that any country can act as the world's police, nor do we accept any nation that can claim to be the world's judge, says Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi. Well, good for you, Wang Yi, but you've just shown how feckless and toothless you are. You tried to influence Latin America, and it's fallen apart. Well, Danish embattled Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen is in trouble, and she's using this opportunity to attack Donald Trump. Trying to shore up support for her failing party, which has lost Copenhagen for the first time since 1938. Her political party has controlled Copenhagen for nearly a century, and now they've lost control of it. The Danish Prime Minister told President Trump to back down after he repeated his threat to acquire Greenland in the wake of the U.S. military raid in Venezuela. President Trump doubled down. We need Greenland from the standpoint of national security, he said on Air Force One. He said Denmark was not doing enough to safeguard Greenland. He made his comments as worries grow in Denmark and other countries about his international ambitions after the U.S. raided Venezuela and seized Nicolas Maduro. Frederiksen noted that Denmark was part of NATO and that a defense agreement with the United States gave Washington wide access to Greenland. On Sunday, she said she addressed the United States very directly to reiterate that Washington had no right to annex Greenland. I would therefore strongly urge the United States to stop the threats against historically close ally, adding that Greenlanders have said very clearly they're not for sale. Well, you're protecting your colony. Greenland is not part of Denmark. It's a colony. I thought the colonial era ended. A Paris court has convicted 10 people for claiming that Emmanuel Macron's wife is a man. The trial in France is seen as a forerunner to a bigger legal case the Macrons have brought against Candace Owens for promoting similar claims. A Paris court on Monday found 10 defendants guilty of cyberbullying Brigitte Macron, the wife of President Emmanuel Macron, a victory in the couple's ongoing legal battles against conspiracy theorists in France and the United States who spread false claims about her gender and sexuality. The trial in France is seen as a forerunner to a much bigger legal claim they're making in the U.S. The defendants found guilty Monday, 8 men and 2 women ranging in age from 41 to 65 years of age, received sentences spanning from mandatory cyberbullying awareness training to 8 months suspended prison terms. 1 was jailed for failing to attend the trial, and 5 were restricted from posting on social media for 6 months. The court said cited degrading, insulting, and malicious comments alleging that Brigitte Macron was transgender and connected the 24-year-old age gap between her and her husband to pedophilia. In posts seen by tens of thousands of defendants repeated claims that the French First Lady had changed gender. They first met in high school where he was a student and she was his drama teacher and married, mother of 3. They married in 2007 when she was in her mid-50s and he was the up-and-coming politician who was 29. Well, among those convicted was Delphine Jujus, a 51 who identifies herself as an internet fortune teller under the name Adamine Roy. Prosecutors identified her as instrumental in amplifying the conspiracy theory after she produced a 4-hour YouTube video in 2021 about Macron's alleged gender switch. She claimed to have uncovered a state secret that Macron was originally born Jean-Michel Trogneux, the name of her older brother. Claims went viral in the run-up to France's presidential elections. They lodged a complaint against her, but then, of course, it picked up with Candace Owens. The Macron's 22-count defamation lawsuit names Candace Owens among the business entities, with her business entities for conducting a relentless year-long campaign of defamation. Wow. Macron not happy, man. Not happy about that story. Cuba left reeling after its security forces protecting Nicolas Maduro were waxed by the U.S. government. Cuba's left reeling in the aftermath of Venezuela's strike. For months, as U.S. military prepared to strike Venezuela, many Cubans have asked a simple question. Are we next? Following devastating attacks on Venezuelan military bases and surgical apprehension of Nicolas Maduro, Cuba seems very much in the Trump administration's sights. Maduro's capture is a seismic reversal of fortune for Cuba's communist-run government, which for decades has relied on massive aid packages from its oil-rich South American ally for the island's very survival. At a protest Saturday in front of the U.S. Embassy in Havana, the defiant Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel promised not to let the Cuban-Venezuela alliance go down without a fight. It's over, buddy. It's over. New sheriff in town. As I said, Denmark is in crisis mode as Trump sets his sights on Greenland. Yes, there you go. That's Nuuk. I have to say this very directly to the United States. It makes absolutely no sense to talk about the need for the United States to take over Greenland, said Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen on Facebook. The Kingdom of Denmark and thus Greenland is part of NATO and therefore covered by the alliance's security guarantee. We already have a defense agreement between the Kingdom and the United States, which gives the United States wide access, and we therefore strongly urge the states to stop threats against historically close ally and against another country and other people who have said very clearly they're not for sale. Yes, but this is your colony. So are we supporting colonialism or are we trying to end it? Well, amid a global battle with geopolitics and chaos, Uganda's battle to unseat an authoritarian. Bobby Wine trying his hardest, but he is at a disadvantage with the thugs in Uganda. Coal. All the talk about the Paris Climate Accords, the Paris Climate Treaty, carbon in the air. Oh, the greenhouse gases. America's a carbon criminal. Oh, the just energy transition. Let's give money to South Africa so they keep burning coal. Meanwhile, coal is as much in demand as it's ever been around the world. Why? Because Asian economies, particularly China, are burning coal like there's no tomorrow. Forecasting fossil fuel demand in this age of unprecedented geopolitical and economic uncertainty puts crystal balls with a layer of coal dust. And in the short term, projections could be raised as financial taps as to the sector reopened. Coal demand hit a record high in 2025, confounding its obituary writers, as I said it would. Coal demand is projected to reach 8.845 billion tons. In China, which consumes more coal than the rest of the world combined, demand is on course to mirror its 2024 level as expected. Production reached a record high of 9.1 billion tons in 2024, driven largely by China, India, and Indonesia. Global coal demand is expected to effectively plateau over the coming years, showing a very gradual decline through 2030. But they kept telling us it was over. Coal was dead. It's not. It's not. And there's Eskom's Lethabo coal-fired power station near Joburg. Look at all that coal being burned there. Yeah, coal's come back. They say it was not in the cards. I said it was in the cards. Trump wants clean coal. Nicolas Maduro has arrived in New York, ladies and gentlemen, as Trump expands threats. Maduro was ousted Venezuelan leader. His wife were set to be arraigned on drug trafficking and other charges. President Trump suggested he could take action against other countries, including Colombia and Mexico. Nicolas Maduro, the ousted Venezuelan president, no, he wasn't president. He was a criminal occupying the president's office, and his wife were brought to the federal courthouse in Lower Manhattan on Monday ahead of their arraignment on charges of drug trafficking and other crimes, 2 days after they were captured in U.S. military raid. Trump suggests the United States could take action against more countries, including Colombia, Mexico, and the semi-autonomous Danish territory of Greenland. So here's the thing. All the whining and lies by the South African propagandists at News 24, in the Times Live, at the Foreign Ministry, at the government of South Africa, in the ANC, all the lies. Oh, Trump is aggressive. He's picking at South Africa. Really? I don't see South Africa mentioned in that. Trump was on a plane. South Africa's an afterthought. South Africa isn't even rising to the attention. So is Cyril in jeopardy? Not at the moment. Not at the moment. The waffle man is safe for now. But all this whining about, oh, America's targeting. If South Africa was targeted, Cyril Ramaphosa would have been long languishing in Guantanamo Bay or being tried for MTN's support for terrorism, which is alleged in 5 anti-terrorism lawsuits taking place in the United States now against MTN. And their effort to dismiss the cases failed. Those cases all go forward. So the nonsense about the United States targeting South Africa needs to stop, or they will find themselves targeting the ANC. After Maduro, who's next? Ooh, Greenland, Cuba, or Colombia? It's so strategic right now. Greenland is covered with Russian, Chinese ships all over the place, he told reporters. He was interviewed by The Atlantic, and that's where this all stemmed from. Well, Trump was skeptical of taking Maduro out until he wasn't. He fed up with repeated efforts to persuade Maduro to leave office. The president decided in favor of military action. 6 months before he sent U.S. forces to seize Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, President Trump wanted to cut deals with Maduro, not forcibly remove him from power. During a July meeting in the Oval Office, Trump told advisors he wanted to keep negotiating with Maduro's regime to reach a deal to give priority to U.S. oil companies seeking to pump Venezuelan crude. Trump acknowledged that Secretary of State Marco Rubio had long cautioned him against trusting Maduro and believed oil reserves would bolster his regime, opposed the approach. But Trump, according to people briefed in the discussion, said he wanted a deal. We're doing it my way. Well, in late December, he changed his mind. He changed his mind and he took Marco Rubio's advice. And we took out Maduro. Trump says Ukraine did not target Putin's residence. All the people keep saying that Trump is a stooge of Russia. This doesn't jive. The alleged attack happened during ongoing negotiations between Moscow and Kiev to end the conflict. Trump says Kiev didn't do it. I don't believe that strike happened. There's something that happened fairly nearby, but it had nothing to do with this. On the 29th of December, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said Kiev used 91 drones to target Putin's residence in Novgorod. All the drones were destroyed. Trump is not a lapdog for Russia, despite the lies of the political left. Minnesota's Timmy Waltz, this is now old news, reconsidering election bid. He has not. He has dropped out. Congress returns from holiday recess, and let's see what's at the top of their agenda. Government funding. The government is currently funded through January 30th, and funding will need to be extended before then to avert a government shutdown. The lapse of the last funding deadline triggered a 43-day government shutdown in the longest in U.S. history. Legislation includes 3 of the 12 full-year appropriations bills and a measure to fund the rest of the government through the end of January. The ACA subsidies, the Unaffordable Care Act, these subsidies expired December 31st. Venezuela, lawmakers are trying to invoke the War Powers Act, which is anti-constitutional. The resolutions introduced by Tim Kaine, Chucky Schumer, Republican Rand Paul, and Adam Schiff of California. And they want to ban congressional stock trading. Well, they'll ban it and then they'll remove it later on. Executive nominations. Let's see what we've got left here. How many are going to be approved by the Senate? So that's what's awaiting Congress. Democrats look primed to win the House, according to the Washington Post, nearly a year before the election, but a wave might be harder. Gerrymandering and longer-term polarization have left fewer competitive seats in the House in this year's midterms, but they say they're going to pull it off. History polling a narrow Republican majority, a string of off-year victories, and voter anxiety over the economy favor the Democrats, who lead in support for control of Congress by 5 percentage points in an average November-December national polls. But the battlefield in the House is smaller than ever. Not many seats competitive. Of the 39 Democrats that are competing, 28 are in districts that Trump won by 5 or more. So we'll see what happens there. Well, President Trump's administration recognized and released information about the teat suckers, the foreigners who come to this country and suck off of our welfare. We're being told that these are great additions to America, that they make America great, that diversity is our strength. But in fact, we see that most of these immigrants from many of these countries simply suck tax resources away from those of us who are making a living here. A recent data set tracking immigrant households receiving welfare in the United States shows several African nations among the highest as attention turns to recent fraud allegations. President Trump recently reposted a data set on X that ranks countries by the share of immigrant households receiving welfare in the U.S., drawing renewed attention for fiscal and political implications. Here are the top 10 countries. 72% of Somalis who've come to this country live off of us. They're leeches. 66% of Congolese are leeches. 66% of Guinea are leeches. Togo, 53%. Eritrea, 53%. South Sudan, 52%. Liberia, 49%. Algeria, 48%. Libya, 48%. And Ethiopia, 48%. The top 10 countries with immigrants who are leeching off of the taxpayer are right there. Right there. And quite frankly, that's the top 10 African countries. Top 10 African countries. All those people eating at our resources. Unbelievable. And that's the news for today, folks. Be sure to hit the like button if you haven't hit it already. We got that done pretty quickly, just 40 minutes. Yep. 457 likes, 801 people here. Trump is going off grid. When you go off grid, you go prepared. Exactly. That was the thing a few weeks back. Trump is old. He's tired. Nothing's happening. He hasn't done a press conference. Yeah, because he was in the war room planning the Maduro operation. Agree with Colonel. Trump is not a lapdog for Russia, but Bibi owns him. I don't think that's true. Is Maduro going to use his phone call? Can I ask a friend? Oh my goodness. But did you see how nice Maduro's hoodie was? I think it's the best. There's a tale of a miniature Doberman and American pit bull. It didn't end well. Yep. South Africa offered. What's this? Where did you see? Is that a joke? I didn't see South Africa offer its defense force. Check out Operation Hammer that happened in South Africa. You might find it interesting. Okay. Canada's not on the list. China. Yep. Macron's wife grooming him as a teen who was sick. Yeah. Well, I don't disagree with that, Lyrene. Yeah, cyberbullying and not defamation. So they're from... It's a good one, Napoleon. Jean says, good afternoon, Colonel White. Do you think it's common practice for a country like the UK cancel work visas? It's not common practice, but it's not unheard of, if that's what you're getting at. There we go, alert box. Citing not leaving the U.S. and remaining there and no longer siding with your home country. Huh? I don't understand the question, man. I appreciate the 70 rand, but I don't understand the question. Citing not leaving the U.S. and remaining there and no longer siding with your home country. I don't understand. You say a country like the UK, you mean the US? I don't understand the question. I'm trying to understand it. You don't have to super chat again, just post it. Oh. You were discussing it because it went to the UN Security Council today. Yeah, so the current UN Security Council is the 5 permanent members: China, France, Russia, UK, and the United States, as well as the 10 rotating members: Bahrain, Colombia, DRC, Denmark, Greece, Latvia, Liberia, Pakistan, Panama, and Somalia. Yep. So that's the current membership. They're discussing it today. Yep. It doesn't really matter. Well, thank you, Debbie. I thought it was a good interview with Nas, too. I enjoyed it. Please go watch it if you haven't seen it, folks. Feel very ignorant when it comes to Israel. They don't look at facts. They just want to blame Israel for everything. Exactly. I've lived in Israel. So I know that's nonsense. The UN discussion was quite bad. From what standpoint, Martin? Did you watch it? There was an article in South Africa, the South African. Okay. All right, well, that's not the government saying it. The South African, okay. Okay. South African, okay, let me see. The search button wasn't working last time I tried. I'll try it today. No. Come on, where's the asterisk at? Not working. I don't see anything there. Don't see anything there. I'm looking. South African is hiring. Huh. Growing its editorial team has several exciting opportunities for freelance writers and journalists. Well, they want your list of sources. All right, so what do we got here? Okay, I've already had that. Biggest mistake was take on Israel. They're way more powerful than USA. BB tells Trump. Well, Roberto Wilco, you are possessed by that. So funny. So what did BB do before Trump was in office? So USA is owned by? No, give me a break, man. Living on a farm in Western Cape isn't as bad as up country, but the last few nights hearing banging found an attempt to break into a home. Oh, it is just as bad, Jason. It's just, you just don't see it. It's not as bad as Northwest, but yeah. I think what you're asking, Kevin Biggs, would affect the petrostates economies. Yes, it would. How big is the backlog? We've been waiting since September for flight details. Waiting exhale. Thank you for the $5 super chat. I don't think anybody knows how big the backlog is. Let me look. I'm going to check something real quick. Okay, cool. Okay. In Security Council meeting in the U.S. Yeah, of course. That's where the Security Council meets in New York. Yeah, well, South Africa's not on the Security Council. Their time there is already over. They're no longer part of the Security Council, so it won't matter. ANC messed up. Israel is the most powerful nation on earth, says Roberto Welcome. It's the most powerful nation in the world. Give me a break. A little tiny country, 9 million people. Hey, Just Joe Music, what's going on? Proof of life. Good. Well, we got proof of life from Maduro, too. Employer has lost one engineer in the refugee program. Soon they'll lose another. Yeah, well, it's our game. Had to have been busy with stuff for a small landlocked country. What's this? Some security details. Okay. What did the South African defense minister say, Boyo Paul? What did he say? And when did he say it? I didn't see anything from him. Covering the radio today. Well, I don't see. I looked on the South African. I see no article there. What's going on here? Shylock, what happened? What did Jean Bobby Jean say? Yeah, that's rude. You don't need to do that in Afrikaans. Chris is late again. Well, you've got a habit forming there. You're late all the time. Yeah, he's at court right now. In fact, let me just look and see if I can go find footage of it, if it's being filmed. If it's being transmitted, I should say. Yeah, it's live. Let me see if I can't find something. Yep. Well, that's the courtroom in New York. Yeah, use up the sun. I remember that. Stop putting up solar. Yep. South Africa has very little to bargain with, but they don't need to bargain. All they need to do is agree to the terms that U.S. said to advance things. It's not very hard. Let me turn that off. That's very distracting. So I'll turn off for me as well. We'll just watch the video. No, South Africa just has to meet the terms. The United States said they have to disavow kill the Boer, and they have to do 3 other things. They have to just do them. It's not very hard. What's the different uniform? Those are law enforcement. They're U.S. Marshals. The guys with the khaki pants and the body armor on are U.S. Marshals. The other guy, I'm not sure. Well, he looks pretty serious. The one that's above my head he looks like an AI robot. But the 3 on the left are U.S. Marshals. Yeah, Shylock, you are correct in that. It doesn't specify being the U.S. If you're absent from the UK for that period of time, you lose it. Yes, yes, anywhere in the world. DSTV said we kidnapped him. No, we executed a warrant for his arrest. It's not kidnapping. Kidnapping would be, if there was no legal authority to take him, but there was. Hey, Nicola, what's going on? You had bad signal? Sorry to hear that. So that's outside the courtroom there in New York, folks. Correct, Vanessa. They'll never give up their positions to support. Also, one of the conditions was to exempt U.S. companies from the racist, broad-based black economic empowerment scam, and they won't do that. So that's all they got to do. There's no negotiating. All they have to do is that. It would also be very helpful if they actually showed up for trade negotiations. They keep claiming they're doing trade negotiations, but there's nobody in the States. No one's talking to Jamieson Greer. No one is talking to the Department of Commerce. No one's talking to the White House. No one's talking to anybody. Dude, what are you doing in the camera? Get your hand down. Get out of the camera. Planes should be pretty empty for people returning from holidays. Yeah. Well, remember, a lot of Americans go to South Africa for Christmas because it's cold here and it's summer there. So you get a lot of people coming that way. Hey, Fonz, what's going on? Yeah, Realization said if you actually understand the narrative of the UN, it might not be what you guys think. We can't allow it, but also they pretty much all 100% agree it was a dictator, like they were swerving around. They are, because they're powerless. This is realism in international political theory. The strong do what they want, and the weak will suffer what they must. Well, as I'm older, I don't disagree with you. Heard New York increased the bus fare by $3. Oh, everything's supposed to be free, you know? Well, wait till they're able to tax just the white people, which is his plan. The racist, bigot, scumbag, fascist New York mayor plans to tax white people. And then he tries to deny it after he tells people he's going to tax white people. So uncool to promote another person's channel. Who's promoting a channel? I didn't see that. The guy in blue, I think he's New York NYPD, but I can't see his patch clearly. It's not high level. Very good with Nos. You had been in so many matches. Mad respect. Oh yeah. I don't see where anybody's promoting on the channel. But I'd suggest people stop arguing with each other. That's not very helpful, okay? Just saying. Thank you so much for deleting the message of another live. So tired of sitting through discussions on other channels. I'm now interested in here listening. Well, thank you for that on the move. I didn't see it. Saw Rama speaking in Zimbabwe saying he's proud of Zimbabwe's agriculture. Well, Ramaphosa doesn't know anything about agriculture. He thinks that, lettuce grows on Big Macs. There have been no more Home Affairs operations. Oh, you mean on illegal immigrants? Yeah, there have. I mean, the Border Management Authority just picked up the Zimbabweans right there, but they didn't raid any places like they did to the American diplomatic site. No, he didn't send him to New York to troll. The Southern District of Manhattan is the most powerful, influential, and best resourced district or federal court. Being the attorney for the Southern District of New York is a highly influential. What was calling me? Team 1 Auto Tide call 1149. Okay. So my car is being serviced. Let's see what the deal is. Hopefully it's nothing big. Uh-oh, that's not good. Urgent. What's this? Okay, it says nothing wrong. But it gives me a yellow light. That's weird. That's wild. Check this out, man. They have a photograph of my car in the shop. That's my car in the shop. And they send me this email telling me the diagnosis, but it's like points urgent, but then it says the detail. It just says that they check the thermostat, never gets over 153, needs thermostat. Oh, coolant level slightly low. Actually, my thermostat, it hit 178 the other day, so maybe that wasn't a problem. Okay, so, yeah. Requires motor, mount, and brackets. A tiny bit one. Well, it sounds a little more serious than they said. Remember when the South African Minister of Agriculture said we don't need farmers? But yeah, and they said, members of Parliament from the ANC said, oh, we get our food from pick and pay. Why do we need farmers? I didn't hear. Well, you guys are hearing all kinds of stuff. Gwede Mantashe said South Africans are lazy. He had to work to get to where he is. What a joke. He didn't work at all. You're right. That is a joke. Isn't New York full of leftist judges? Yeah, the judges are federal judges. They're not New York judges. So not being in the UK for just over a month until decided to remain in the U.S. I don't even understand that, Jean-Bobby John. Thank you for the 35, but that doesn't make any sense. So not being in the UK for just over a month until decided to remain in the blank, the U.S. warrant the cancellation being there in November. I understand that, man. I don't understand what you're getting at. I don't know the gist of that whole conversation, but it was something about if you have a work permit for the UK and you leave the UK for 2 years, you lose it. I think that was the point of the whole conversation. The thermostat doesn't open. There's a water pressure problem in your car. I'm not aware of the thermostat not opening. He's saying it doesn't go above 150 degrees Fahrenheit, but I drove it the other day and I checked the temperature. I checked the transmission temperature and I checked the coolant temperature and it was up to 178. So obviously it went over 153. Okay, thank you. You'll send me the email. Okay. Here at a black farmer saying the cows are dying from foot and mouth and there's no vaccine because the idiot Steenhuisen has done nothing. Well, it's going to be hard to argue with that logic. Well, they mentioned move this trial to another state and say, no, guys, they're federal judges. They're not going anywhere. It's Southern District of New York. That's intentional. It's the most famous place where we tried terrorists. Yep, the Southern District of New York. We've had successful trial. Rudy Giuliani was the district attorney for the Southern District of New York. It's a federal court. You guys got to understand there's a difference here. We have a federal system. It is a federal court. These cops must be very bored. Who is Angel, and what is going on with Angel here in the chat? I don't know, Krista. I'm just reading an email message. They called me while I was live streaming, so I don't know. I have to. You guys are asking me questions I can't possibly answer. I just read 3 sentences in an email, so I'll have to wait and see. I'll keep that open over here for me to see. So, can't Maduro be tried by military court? That's problematic. It can be done, but it's problematic. There's no martial law involved here. I wonder if Maduro perhaps... I can off pump station maintenance from 6 a.m. till 8. Okay. Hey, Neff, how's it going? Check engine light can come on with broken engine mounts. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. Yeah. Okay. I've been complaining about my strut system. That could be what it is. So who is Angel, and what are people complaining about Angel over here? So I don't see any Angel. Oh, there it is. But still sending love and light. Angel, I don't have a beef with you. But did you post? Okay. Oh, there you go. There's Angel. What's your don't? It's all right. What's going on here? All right. Yeah. Okay, guys. Okay, I'm going to address this issue now because it keeps coming up of late. It is disrespectful and rude to go in someone else's program and say, hey, hey, look, this is happening over here, or this is happening there. Content creators strive for large audiences, to engage with their audiences, to grow their channels, to attract subscribers, and to beat the algorithm. And so if you go into someone's chat, if I went to Ronaldo's chat and say, hey, look, Morning Shot's on now, I'm going to go to Morning Shot. Or, hey, everybody, go to Morning Shot. He's talking about this. It's rude. It's disrespectful. If you mean no harm by it, fine. Just don't do it. It's just rude. You shouldn't do it you shouldn't go to Lili's channel and say, oh, I'm leaving to go to the Colonel's channel. That's not cool. What John is getting at, and I did see a couple people mention the same thing, can a UK visa get canceled if you applied in the refugee program? Oh, okay. Well, that's completely not what I understood. That's why, thank you, Sean Nadir. You just explained that very succinctly. Thank you. Can a UK visa get canceled if you applied in the refugee program due to possible change of country? I don't know the answer to that question, but the common sense approach is, the logical approach would be no. Why would the UK cancel your passport if you've applied for a refugee program, or cancel your visa? If you have a visa to work in the UK and you're accepted as a refugee in the US, you're saying that means you're going to lose your visa to the UK? I don't see why that would apply. After 2 years, you lose it. But if you have a work visa in the UK, why are you applying for the refugee program in the US? I don't understand that. The whole thing doesn't make any sense. Jean Babajan's going to send me an email to try to explain this, but none of this makes any sense. If you have a work visa in the UK, then why are you in South Africa? This isn't pointed at anybody. It's just a generic question. If you have a work visa to live in Germany or Austria or Italy or somewhere like that, why in the hell are you in South Africa applying for a refugee program? I would think they would consider you being eligible. You have a safe haven to go to. I don't know. I'm just saying. Oh, Jay Stevenson, we are pushing back. First off, there isn't that much criticism of Trump. Most of the international players are silent, or they've given, wishy-washy answers, trying to sit on the fence, their hens hopa. And then beyond that, most of the demonstrations around the world have been in favor of Trump. The Venezuelans are ecstatic in Venezuela and outside Venezuela. Yep. Although there are other hosts who invite viewers to go watch other channels even while they're live. Well, there aren't. I'm not sure what you're getting at, Chugsy. Ronaldo has done that. Ronaldo has invited people to go over, but usually does it towards the end of his show. I've told people to go watch something else during the Senecal 2 event, because I was the only one that covered Senecal 1 when they flipped the Bucky over at the courthouse. But during Senecal 2, people came in my chat and kept saying, "Ooh, Scott Balson, Loving Life, they've got people on the ground, Loving Life, Loving Life." And I said, go watch Loving Life. I had, I forget the numbers now, I had like 4,800 people watching. And I said, go watch. If you think that coverage is better, go watch it. That's your prerogative. Watch what you want to watch. And then I lost 300 people. But 10 minutes later, I was at 8,500 because that channel sucked and its coverage was boring and bogus. My coverage was exciting, influential, and insightful, and so people came to watch it. Is it possible to amend the selected travel date after submission? No, you can't amend anything. You have no way to go change it. Once it's in, it's in. You have no way to contact them. They won't answer email. So you'll have to, when they contact you, say, "I'd like to go earlier." They'll probably ask you that anyway. Mark, I did the news, and I ended the news some time ago. I did the news quickly, only 40 minutes. We've covered some more news stories. Do you have a news question, Mark? I'm trying to do that's not even a Ref G question about people watching other channels. That's not a Ref G question. I was doing Maduro here, so I was trying to see what the whole angel thing was. So, no, I'm not talking Ref Gs. I was talking news. And there is the news right there. Just waiting to see if he comes out. This is, he's been in there for a while now. So this is the Maduro case. No worries, Mark. I was saying I didn't even answer a Ref G question. Had a good viewership, and this content is really great. Who's that? Who had a good viewership there, Trix? Gosh, my eye is really messed up. This right eye is really driving me nuts. I mean, okay, now the camera's actually fuzzy. I thought it was my eye. It's actually the camera's fuzzy. That broadcast is not clear. That right eye is really driving me nuts, even with reading glasses on. Jeez. I think there's never been a president acted against and having media ride him as much as Trump. That's true. At least they have company and can converse with each other. Yeah, no, it is cold. Yeah, it's cold. Yeah, folks, feel free to go subscribe to Nas Bota's channel. That'd be great. Yep. He pled not guilty. Where'd you hear that, Napoleon? Is it being, well, not guilty. What else would he plead? Yeah, throw himself in the mercy of the court. False narrative playing against President Trump is ridiculous. Yeah, I know. It's but educating people who don't want to listen is difficult. I'll be making a video about the poultry tariffs. I've been talking about that forever. Okay, Lo, congratulations. Hopefully hear from you on this side. You should not peek through the keyhole. You graciously invite people to go join in. For instance, Ronaldo's live towards the end of your live, and you know he is right on after you. It's very kind of you. Oh, I also do that too. Ronaldo does the same. Yep. Oh, the New York Post. Thank you, Napoleon. I appreciate that. New York Post. Okay, let's go to that then very quickly, and we'll pull that up. Oh, my hip is really killing me this morning. Okay, so if that's an engine mount, I wouldn't be surprised because I've been talking about my car and the condition of the mounts. Okay, give me a second here. New York Post. NY Post. You know, New York Post used to show up in news results, searches for Google, but they've taken them out. Defiant dictator swiftly cut off by judge after claiming he was kidnapped. Oh my goodness, why are they ducking? Was that from Prop Wash? He's got orange sneakers on. Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro and his first lady Celia Flores are making their first appearance in court. The fallen leader's 66 and 69-year-old wife were charged with narco-terrorism conspiracy, cocaine importation conspiracy, possession of machine guns and destructive devices, conspiracy to possess machine guns and destructive devices against the United States in the Southern District of New York. The couple was indicted after they were captured at their heavily fortified compound. Okay. Where's the cutoff part? Doesn't say. Okay, so that's an old story. They just gave it a new headline. So he was cut off. So that's funny. That's funny. Oh, my goodness. And Timmy Waltz has dropped out of the Minnesota governor's race. Oops, NFL's fired a fourth coach. Didn't see that earlier. Beloved teacher murdered by home intruder while she begged 911 dispatchers for help. Wow. A beloved North Carolina science teacher was killed by a career criminal home intruder while she was on the phone with 911. Zoe Welsh, a teacher of 20 years, was found with life-threatening injuries after police were called to a burglary at her Raleigh, North Carolina home. She phoned 911 to report an intruder was in her house. While she was on the phone, her attacker began to assault her. Wow. Ryan Camacho. Oh, there's a surprise. Ryan Camacho later arrested and charged with murder and felony burglary. He has at least 24 arrests, was found guilty in 2021 of escaping from prison in North Carolina. Last month, in a separate case for breaking and entering, he was dismissed by a judge after he was found incapable to proceed. He's capable of murdering someone, though. Wow. The assistant district attorney tried to have him voluntarily committed, but his request was denied by the court. He was due in court on Monday. Unbelievable. Deeply heartbroken for this mother, friend, and mentor to many in our community, and for the unimaginable trauma her family must endure, we extend our deepest sympathy to Miss Welsh's family. Tributes have been paid to Welsh, who taught AP Biology and Forensic Science at Ravenscroft School since 2006. Wow. So, 4 head coaches lost their jobs at Browns: Kevin Stefanski, the Titans: Brian Callahan, Giants: Brian DeBoll, and Falcons: Raheem Morris. Huh. Still waiting outside the courtroom. What's going on here? Okay. Okay, Roberto. Well, that's just silly, man. Well, thank you for the super chat. Super chat, Dems. Let me look that up in just a second. Could I ask you to see my email? December 28th. I'll look to see if I received it. Oh. Who's Deborah? I don't know who Deborah is. Deborah's talking crap about me again. I don't know who Deborah is. Second time I've heard about North Carolina. Let me see one of the interviews. Okay. You always get frostbite with my temperature. I have Celsius right there on the clock behind me. That's in Celsius. 21 degrees Celsius right there. All right, let me look for this email. Oh, someone's running out of the courtroom. Oh, they're rushing out. That must be the media guys. I think he's going to come out here shortly. Let's see. The journalists rushing to file reports probably. Yeah, I think we might have some movement here, folks. Oh, and now their feed stops. Give me a freaking break. Okay, come on. All right, let me go check this email out if I can. That's a terrible feed. They need to get better data package. Is it DeMille? DeMille. No. DeMille Wright, 23. No, I have no such email from anybody with that name. Nope. Where did you send it? Where did you send it? There's no email here from anybody with that name. Yeah, I think that's all the journalists coming out now. I have no such email. I don't know where you sent it. Nope. No such email. Hey, Mike. Funny clip. He did welcome Maduro for a bottle of lubricants. Yeah, I'm sure that'll be hilarious. The one that was fired. Okay, that just got deleted. Oh, that woman. She's I don't know. She's not all there. Somebody just deleted their message. What did you delete? Let me see what that was. I can't now because it's in that window. Let me do this here. Another cop has come out, so he must be getting ready for this to happen here. I got to move that into a different window because I can't do scrap there. Hang on a second. I need to get to the news one there. Where's the news one at? There it is. Move that over here. Okay, now I got that where I need it. Okay, good to go. Back over here. Okay, so what was that was deleted there? Phoenix retracted. That's the YouTube channel. Well, what did she say about me? What did she say about me? The woman is mentally unstable based on her comments. I mean, that's the only thing we have to go off of is her comments, but it appears to be mentally unstable. Deborah Pata. Oh, that's different. Okay, who is it? Deborah Pata or Deborah DeRichter? Yeah, Deborah that's making it crazy. So who's doing it? Is it the woman from Newsroom Africa or 24, or is it the crazy acting lady? What is this? Why is everyone... because the data is not very good there. A heat wave coming. They should have That's the place you need Starlink. They should have direct link to Starlink right there. Deborah Pata. Oh, okay. Okay, which is it? You guys make up your mind. Is it Deborah Pata or is it the other lady? We don't get access to decision-making process. Formators and criminals are utilized all the time. Maduro always with body armor. Yes, so nobody takes him out. We learned that with the murder by Jack Ruby of Lee Harvey Oswald. Yep. Sally says, I feel guilty. The colonel feels so bad because all the things happen. So I feel an emotional person. What's going on, Sally? What did I miss that you said? What do you feel guilty about, Sally? There's nothing reason to feel guilty. No reason to feel guilty. Oh, the English are going to settle on the west coast of South Africa. How can you get a hold of me? Well, Fred, you're here right now. What do you want? That's how you can get a hold of me. You're welcome, Joan Stewart. Oh, no reason to feel bad. I feel that way about everything. As I felt every place I've been. When I ran HIV programs in Africa, I felt bad. When I built schools and clinics for kids who didn't have resources, it's a burden I choose to pick up. Oh yeah, the Joburg water is messed up until the 8th of January. So good luck with that. The podcast from Byron was a really great one. See, now, Richard, that's what people got chastised earlier for. What podcast? His name is Byron, not Baron. Riyad Cornier, what's going on? Happy New Year to you. Okay, Fred, you're not writing anything. I'm waiting. You can also send an email to my account, and if I'm able to get to it, I'll get to it. Moderators have already posted the email. It's also on the About tab for this show. Anyway. So the Mybergs up there in Fellow Drift, always a pleasure to see you guys in the program today. Thanks for being here. So my unannounced NOS video didn't do as well as I hoped it would, but it did okay. But I would hope to have been much bigger. Let me see how we're doing. So we had 1,700 when it was live. It's 2,300 now, so 600 people found it since then. Okay, well, let's get that one out there. Mods, spread that one around. Yeah, all right. Videos, okay. Oops, Richard. Yeah, oops is right, man. First day back at work. Well, a lot of people are just getting back to work today. Some are heading back to the middle of the week, but many are there. So my Ramaphosa video about MTN, that one is still going, but very slowly now. It's getting about 400 or 500 per hour, so it's at 79,000. So that one. But it's white people from Pretoria at a protest. I didn't hear about that, Marissa. Okay. Shylock says, I have no interest in rugby. That's fine, but can you go and just watch it for 30 seconds and give me a view? Or I had contact with 2 possible rejected applicants. Can I mail you this? You may, Pat Meister. You absolutely may. You may. You may. Absolutely. By the way, folks, listen, I've seen people respond in comments to some of the videos I do, and you can see where they're outing themselves. When I do my videos, unless I mention you by name, you should just be quiet about it. If I read something or I give a situation that fits you, because many of the situations which I report on, your circumstances are almost identical to someone else, and assuming that it's about you is a mistake. I've had people comment on 2 videos now in which they've doxed themselves about the person when I was talking about a case. 2 different videos, because I wasn't talking about them. I was talking about a very similar situation. Anyway, so sometimes I also generically massage the situation so that I protect the identity of people. People don't get it. No problem, Shylock. Okay. All right. Social Security today, so we'll see you soon. No idea what that means. You got Social Security. You went to see Social Security. You wouldn't have got a number today unless you got it today. Unless it arrived. Yeah, exactly. Monster Max says, I have no interest in rugby. I go and like the vids. Yep. Good day, Eddie Homestead Rosser. Okay. So I just watched 3 minutes of the Deborah Richter. She says, Chris is threatening how the government, U.S. government is acting like a terrorist organization. So, oh my goodness. All right, let's just go find that, okay? I'm threatening South Africa. It's stupid people, morons. Someone probably told her that. So hang on a second here. I know where that's coming from. It's from this video. And let me see if I can find that moment. Bear with me for a moment here. I got to play a few snippets of it. Okay, play.
Early today,
Trafficking and terrorism against the United States. Now that that's happened, perhaps it's time to begin to unpack some. Hang on a second.
Hey, I'm waiting for the attorney to come. Really fast, but I want to tell you what the
Where's the material on that?
firearm we have at the trial. Starting at the end, Duro will split up to the left.
Okay, I put that on mute now so you can hear this. Hang on a second, folks. All right, so I got to get back here. Okay. Something that ought to be of great proposal. Now chaired by disclosed that MTN Group is involved in business dealing. MTN's 49% stake bombings and killings of American alleged here, life imprisonment. But the political implications of this are huge and growing by the hour. Investigations have created political pressure as critics question President Ramaphosa and the ruling ANC party's close historical ties to MTN, and the ongoing investigations created political pressure as critics have questioned Ramaphosa and the ruling ANC's close historical ties to MTN and to Nkabisi Jonas. So, is this a tempest in a teapot? So, I've never seen that before. It just skipped. Or is, in fact, MTN guilty of funding terrorism through Iran? I don't have the answer, but these trials will prove whether it's true or not. In the meantime, Ramaphosa better hope that the U.S. government can't prove these allegations. All right, so listen closely to this. Because if they can, there might be a SEAL Team 6 in his future. Pretty frightening stuff, huh? But the heads of state involved in this sort of criminal activity. But then again, we know that Ramaphosa had $580,000 in cash delivered to his game ranch in Pala Pala, violating customs laws, violating SARS tax regulations, and then purportedly used the VIP protection unit to cover up the crime by hunting down the people who stole the money and supposedly torturing them, defeating the means of justice. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. Those are simply allegations made in the press. What I can say for sure is that I smell a rat. And it's not just in Tehran. It's in Pretoria as well. And if I can smell that rat, the U.S. intelligence community can smell it, knows where it died, knows how it died, knows who's responsible for that dead rat. If I were Cyril Ramaphosa, I would be very concerned. And I would listen to this. Part making sure that my protection unit is close at hand. Is there a SEAL Team 6 raid in his future? I don't know. All I can say is that when the jacarandas are in bloom, Pretoria is a lovely town, SEAL Team 6. Tell me how it goes. Cheers, South Africa. Santi. Okay, that's not it. But one of these videos I talked recently and I said, no, I'm not making a threat. That's not a threat for me. I'm just telling you that what the reality here is. Yeah. It might have been my Unraveling the Truth video. I'm not sure. But it was one of those videos. Anyway, no, anyone that claims I've threatened South Africa is complete and utter brain-dead, moronic dipshit. That's the truth. Doesn't sound threatening to me. Look, I'm not going to get into Odez. I've shared my feelings about that guy. He's a nasty piece of work. Yep. Yes, Carl, we know who Willem Petzer is. He's a guest on my channel. I was a guest on his channel 6 years ago, and we are in touch occasionally. Yeah, and all these people who claim to be conservatives and Afrikaners and Boers were all flocking to Odez's channel a few years ago. Yep. Yep. How big is his channel now? I haven't never found it on YouTube. I haven't looked at it anyway, so maybe it's really big now. Hang on. He's got... Seriously, that's all he has? Oh, no, I misread it. Okay, he's got 57,000 subscribers. Oh, he's attacking Rob Hersoff, too. He's saying, oh, my goodness. Wow. Still get some good views in his videos. Yeah. That guy did a copyright strike for me for stuff that wasn't even his own. Wasn't even his own. He basically, someone told him where to find a video on Twitter. He downloaded the video from Twitter. He put it up, and that's all he put up. That was when he was assaulted on at Sea Point. He was assaulted by the cops, and he posted that video. I made a video analyzing the situation, a 6-minute, 42-second video, something like that. That 42-second clip was in there. I acknowledged where the video came from, the YouTube or the Twitter account, gave them credit for it. He did a copyright strike against my channel. A strike against my channel for stealing his content. And in that his video where he put that up, he explicitly thanked someone in a pinned message for telling him where to find the video. Then they had the audacity to complain to YouTube that I stole his content. He's a lying SOB. Yep. So lying SOB. All About Africa 2021 is the correct email at Gmail. That's the correct email. Let me go back and see, Dems. I'll look for you again. I'll go to 28th December, see if I can go back to that. That's quite a ways to go back. I've only got a couple thousand messages since then. January 3rd, December 31st, December 30th, December 29th, December 28th. Okay. I'm looking at every email message on December 28th right now. Here's the 27th. So there's the 28th. I found someone. I found a Demi. Oh, there it is. Oh, okay. I found it. Okay, I got your email. Okay. Okay. All right. I'll read your email message. I found it. Thank you for the super chat, and thank you for being patient and coming back to me. Okay, so let me print this. I'll deal with it later on. I've got to take care of my car first. I found it. Okay. Okay, I found it. For some reason, it didn't show up in a search. I see your emails there, but when I search your email, it didn't show up. People watch him laugh, says Oden. Okay. The Army, the food is divine. I don't know what army you're in. Battle of the Independent Broadcasters. There's no battle here. What? That is just a lie. I'm being rude to you. Of course that's a lie. He's a moron, yeah. No, the guy, and I had the screenshots. I don't know if I still have them. He downloaded a video from Twitter like I did, and then he used it. He didn't even edit. He didn't put any comment. He just posted the other person's video on his channel. He stole content. He didn't credit. He didn't attribute to anybody. He put up, and then he stole my content. I had a strike against my channel for a week because of that. It's unbelievable. Copyright strike. Unbelievable. And here's the icing on the cake. He had my contact information, my phone number, and my mail address because a few years prior to that, he had agreed to come on my program. People asked me, they said, he switched on, you should talk to him. So I wrote to him, he said, yeah, I'll come on your channel. And then he never showed up. So that was the first strike. But I mean, people do that. Stuff happens. So that was the first strike, but I didn't make a big deal about it. But then when he gave me a copyright strike for content that he stole, and YouTube, I appealed it, and they didn't even look at it. YouTube didn't even look at it. They've run around 30 years of doing what they want with no accountability. Yep. May this be 2026 for you. I don't know what that... Oh, maybe... okay, got it, Debbie. I was trying to figure out what that meant. Yeah, Ingredients and Inspirations, it was a lie. And it hurt my channel. Yep. We worked in Argentina. We had the Army helping us, and they brought us food every day for breakfast. Oh, that's pretty cool. Barry Pollock has filed a notice of appearance. Oh, that's the attorney. Okay. Well, it's another attorney just looking for attention. Nick Shirley has a new video of Somali fraud today. Yeah, okay, Dems, I found it. Okay, and I've printed it out, so I'll get to it later. You're welcome. Sorry you had to feel the need to super chat, but thank you for the super chat. We got 700 likes. That's good. That's good. Yeah, we've also lost about 300. Well, we didn't lose 300 people. We lost a few people. They dipped. What time was that? No, it wasn't then. So, okay. Yeah, no, that crazy lady's just trying to get attention, and she's just sensationalist. See, that's the problem. People need to be more discerning, more discerning. Watch the body cam. Oh. Yeah, no, I got you. What's going on at Maduro now? Hang on, let me check and see if there's anything happening there. Is it over? Nope, still not there. Nothing's happening. I think maybe it's over. Let me see. Yeah, they stopped covering it. No, it's live. No, it's over. Excuse me. Yeah, nothing happened. No one showed up there. I must have taken him out the back or something. Yeah, Maduro. So that was a waste of time. Yeah, Nick Shirley's become incredibly famous for that reporting. He deserves it. It's well done. But it was very... a bit cheeky in some respects. I don't do the cheeky stuff. Why do you need to get to the USA soon, son? There's a super chat. Thank you for that, Riffs Hard. Money for paper. Thank you. Yeah, and I have to buy more paper and more ink. Ink is expensive stuff. Paper is pricey, but not as bad as ink. Johan Barnard, thank you for being here. So Barry Pollock is filed. Let me go back and see if there's an update on the New York Post. Yeah. Let me see if other news stories, because we're not going to rely on the Post to get to someone else now. News. I should be able to find something there. Enters not guilty plea. This is from CNN. Not guilty, he says. A defiant Nicolas Maduro and his wife entered not guilty pleas in their first court appearance. The ousted leader faces drugs and weapon charges, told the judge he's still the president of Venezuela. The couple is not seeking bail. Venezuela's uncertain future. President Trump said the U.S., which does not recognize Maduro as the country's legitimate leader, is in charge as acting president. Delcy Rodriguez called for cooperation with the U.S. Okay. The power of the law must prevail amid Venezuela crisis, says Antonio Gutierrez, as if we give a flying flip what he has to say. Security Council meeting emergency session in New York to address the rendition of Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro from Caracas.
Were heroic in their action, showing solidarity with millions of Cubans. These accusations attempt to suggest that Cuba is involved in this way in Venezuela. We categorically reject that. Thank you.
I thank the representative of Cuba for the statement.
That's the head of Somalia, the president of the Security Council.
Inscribed on the list of speakers. The meeting is adjourned.
The meeting is adjourned. That's it? Well, we missed it.
Mr. President, the
I talked for 34
the
minutes.
rule of law. We have long been clear that Nicolas Maduro's and illegitimate presidents
Cubans lost their lives in combat, as well as the imposition of our commitment will
So let's hear
continue
Cuba.
to be to the democratic principles of the rule of law and peace in society. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
I thank the representative of Paraguay for his
No, there's no updates on
statement.
Iran. I went looking for it.
Representative of Cuba.
Gracias, señor presidente.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, Cuba aligns itself with the statement to be delivered by Eritrea on behalf of the group of friends of the United Nations and Uganda on behalf of the non-aligned movement. Since September of last year, Cuba has been
So I agree with you, Jay. A number of those places were closed for Homeland Security violations, and there were theatrics in this video. Yep.
announcing the hegemonic and criminal plans of the United States and its aggressive projection against Venezuela and the region. We have clearly been exposed to the serious and unpredictable consequences of the irresponsible conduct of the US government for the political, social, and economic stability of Latin America and the Caribbean, and more generally, for international peace and stability. On the 23rd of December, in this very body, we set out the sequence and escalation of actions carried out by the
I know it's no longer live. I guess you can only watch when it's live. That sucks. So it just ended on us like that. Sorry about that, folks. Yep. So I wonder if what happens now. Is it no longer... Okay. Okay. I guess I can't watch it now. United States action against Venezuela violates the charter, says Mexico. Brazil rejects Venezuela's intervention in South America's zone of peace. Human rights crisis in Venezuela has no military solution, says Chile, condemning U.S. actions. Argentina backs U.S. pressure on Venezuela, calls for firm commitment to democracy. Venezuela says aggression driven by greed for natural resources. Maduro's claim to power was fraudulent, says the UK. Maduro's regime repeatedly violated UN Charter, says Latvia. Panama urges democratic transition. There's no war against Venezuela, says the United States. Yep, so there you go. But the live feed we lost. That sucks. That was fun while it lasted. Didn't last very long. So, waste of time, Security Council. So, South Africa's call for UN Security Council, and nothing comes of it. Yeah, I think some of these countries in Latin America just made a big mistake. Like Chile, bad mistake to go against the U.S. in this. What did she say from, what did the spilling the tea say? Oh, she's a coward. She blocks anybody that questions. I've never commented on her Twitter channel to my recollection, and I'm blocked on Twitter. Or no, on her YouTube. No, it was on Twitter. Yes, on Twitter. Never commented there and was blocked. Just preemptively blocked. Never even talked about the woman. Didn't even know who she was, and she blocked me. USA's proven again why they are the best in the world. No one can stand against them yet. Watch the meeting live. What meeting? What meeting, Psycho Billy? The Security Council? Yes, Shylock, that's who they're talking about. Discerning. Yep. Learning every day. Yep. Discerning. Cubans are non-edited. Exactly. Senile old men running Cuba. I agreed. She's slandering me about the raid. That's old news, isn't it? Well, she must have been done taking her break from the holidays. I love these people who do YouTube content. They just disappear because they're enjoying vacations. The world doesn't stop. Is the government expecting retaliation with a risk? No. There's what's spilling over? Venezuela spilling U.S. soil? No. The Venezuelans here want to. They hate Maduro. They're not going to hurt us. No, there's nothing going to spill over. No news on Iran. I looked, Mark. Let me look and see if there's news. I specifically looked for Iran earlier. That's one of the things I want to know what's happening. Is 6 days of protest. See if there's any news updates. Okay. No. Protests enter the 9th day. That's it. 3 children dead by security forces. That's about it. The rest of it's just speculation over what happens after Maduro in Iran. A wonderful Christmas gift from Texas, tea infused with elderberries. Okay, thank you for that. Just posted next to Hilton Hotels is blocking reservations for their government staff. What? What? Oh, this is not going to go well for Hilton. Hilton Hotels has launched a coordinated campaign in Minneapolis to refuse service to DHS law enforcement. When officers attempt to book hotel rooms using official government emails and rates, hotels maliciously cancel their reservations. Unacceptable. Why is Hilton Hotels siding with murderers and rapists to deliberately undermine and impede DHS? Wow. That was posted at 12:27. It's already got, that's less than half an hour ago, it's already got 1,200 comments. After further investigation, we have found information about immigration work connected to your name and will be canceling upcoming. At the Hampton Inn. Oh, that's it. Hilton is done. Hilton is done. All right, so Hilton already destroyed their own honors program by doubling the nights to 60 to retain diamond status. This is the death knell for a once iconic brand unless corporate headquarters take swift action to correct this. I feel a boycott coming on. Yep. Wow. Not smart. Not smart. Wow, thank you for that. I wouldn't have known about that otherwise. Wow. I doubt they have illegals housed there. They're probably working there. Trump was claiming that's laughable how the corrupt nations reject acting in crimes. How it's this. I can't believe that Hilton Hotels would sanction this. I believe this is a local Hampton Inn that's pulled this crap. Oh, Light Rain, you haven't dealt with Somalis. You don't think they're sophisticated? Oh, they're very sophisticated criminals. Yes, they are. Not all Somalis, but Somali criminals are very sophisticated. And look at how they seize ships with just a little outboard motor and a couple AK-47s instead of people just blowing them out of the water. Yeah, no. They are very sophisticated, yeah. But there are American leftists that enable it. Absolutely. They create these programs with holes in them. Okay, for your eyes only. Okay. Oh. Yeah, I'm reading what you sent me. I'm skeptical about what you say. I don't buy that. I don't buy that. That's. I think people are bullshitting us. I think people are bullshitting you there, Pat Meister. I think people are bullshitting you. Hilton Honors account and discard my points. I'm not doing that. I just used my points for one of the rooms for the night for the Stoltze family. So I'm not closing it. But yeah, they're going to be in trouble. Trump's press gag about the Somali pirates and the ships yesterday. It's nearly spat. No, are you talking about on the plane? I didn't see anything. I heard what he said on the plane. Hey, Sean Blum, what's going on? Zoom in the round pose were built to local standards. Probably wouldn't pose an obstacle. What is the truth cooler coming out? I didn't vote for John McCain. I knew him personally, but I didn't vote for him. Be happy by tonight and tomorrow the ANC and FF are running their mouths off, calling for veto power to be removed, starting with the U.S. Exactly. What about the idiot who chastised Colonel Chris for wearing a Springbok jersey and having so much to say about South Africa? Oh, yeah. That was pretty funny. I know more about the Springboks than that moron ever knew. Thank you for that, Napoleon Dynamite. That was useful to find that. It's had a wonderful Christmas gift from Texas. Yep. So, yeah. Festive season was okay. Nothing special. All right, where are we at here? We're an hour and 47. I wasn't planning to go this long. Okay. Dems sent another 49 Rand super chat saying thank you, much appreciated. Well, you're welcome. I haven't really done anything for you yet other than find your email, but you're welcome. And yeah, so no news on Iran either, Mark. Sorry. Hey, Shawnee, what's going on? We're talking about Minnesota. Little Timmy, stolen valor waltz. Tampon Timmy is not running for re-election. And the crowd went wild. Yeah, someone keeps talking about the agriculture show. Yeah, it's to be expected. What happened with Hilton? Well, you must have just tuned back in their knowledge group or you weren't paying attention when we covered it. The Hilton Corporation has a Hampton Inn in Minneapolis that refused. It canceled the reservations of Homeland Security. Yep. So they launched a coordinated campaign in Minneapolis to refuse service to DHS law enforcement. Officers attempt to book rooms using official government emails and rates. Hilton hotels maliciously canceled their reservations. Unacceptable. Why is Hilton Hotels siding with murderers and rapists to deliberately undermine and impede U.S. law enforcement? Yep. Says we've noticed an influx of government reservations made today that have been for DHS, and we are not allowing any ICE or immigration agents to stay at our property. If you are with DHS or immigration, let us know, and we'll have to cancel your reservation. Please pass this info on to your coworkers that we are not allowing any immigration agents to house on our property. Wow. Front office management. Yeah, on the move, I've been looking for news about the Operation Mosi 3 or whatever we're going to call it here with Iran, Russia, and China. There's no news being reported on that. It's kind of a blackout. No, where did you hear this at, Anthony Fomberg? There's no news on that. Kickbacks from Maduro? No. That would be incredible to see, though. Well, if it was 46 Democratic senators, that would be all of them, essentially. People criticizing Australia have never been there. I've been there. They're a bunch of woke people, for the most part. Only real people are in the minority there now. Paris Hilton was a supermodel, I guess. She's famous for performing fellatio, you know. No, he's not in South Africa. He has been very quiet, though. You're right about that. So, alrighty. Okay, guys, let me wrap it up here. Okay, I've got to make a few phone calls. Be sure to hit the like button if you haven't done already. Wow, we almost 10,000 people tuning in for this stream. That's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Thanks for being here. Be sure to hit the like button. 754 likes. That's all we got. Can't we do better than that?
That was easy.
Yeah, my car might be expensive based on what I just heard.
That was easy.
No, it was terrible as far as porn goes. Yeah. What do you mean a comeback story? She was never gone. So, or does she have something new going on we don't know about? How are we doing likes now? Let me take a look again. We got 772. That's a little bit better. No, Hiltons are a separate property. You can buy stock in the Hilton chain. It owns all like 13 different brands, including, what's the tough scene, Tricks? Including the Spark brand, which is a relatively new one. Okay, 777. Okay, well, we're not going to get to 1,000 on this one, but that's fine. All right, guys, thanks a lot. Take care. I've got to take care of some phone calls, call some people, and check on my car as well. Appreciate you being here, and I will be doing some videos today if I have time. I have 2 videos that I need to prepare. One about South Africa's reaction to Venezuela, the ANC's reaction, and then on top of that, a video about the tariffs on our poultry, okay, which nobody will watch, but I'll make it anyway. Yes, Tampon Tim is done. Stolen Valor Tim Waltz is done. He's history. And let's hope we never hear from him again. Cheers, everybody. God bless and be well.